Now in this lesson, I just want to go and talk about the hexadecimal values that we used here in our project. If we try to look at the different colors that we have been using here, I just want to clarify what are these values. So these are what we call hex values, which are ways on how we can go and represent colors through the use of CSS. Hexadecimal color values is represented by RR, GG, and BB. In this format. So let me just go and comment this out. So at least we'll have a visual guide here. So you would see that similar with the RGB, RR means red, GG means green, and blue. So this is normally how we represent the colors through the hex values. Let's say I would want to specify the highest value for red. So what I'm going to do here is to declare FF, and highest value for green will be FF again, and for the blue color will be FF again. This will just means that the hexadecimal values will be between integers 00 up to FF. So that means that will be generating the color white, FF, FF, and FF here. And you would see that we were able to change the header container, the color of the header container into white. If you're familiar with decimals, from where we use the base 10 numbers and we use the numbers 0 to 9 or symbols 0 to 9 for each digit, hexadecimals are base 16 numbers. This means it will be using 16 distinct symbols like decimals. So the symbols will be 0 to 9, and it will be representing the values 0 to 9, then A, B, C, D, E, and F, which will be representing a digit in hexadecimal, giving us 16 total possible values. The hex code is telling the screen on how much of each of these colors and how many pieces of colors gets placed in each of the red, green, and blue channel, and how bright or how intense each of these colors will be for it to display a specific color. For us to better understand how the hex code works, we will need to break down three distinct parts of the code so that we can crack it, and we need to gather some basic information. So we have here in the FF, the first two characters is pertaining to the red color and how much brightness do we give the red color. The next one will be the green, and the last one will be the blue. So for us to be able to complete a color, we will need a combination of characters that are specified from 0 to 9, then A to F. And as I've said here, the hex numbers that we used in the hex code will be composed of 16 digits so that we can get any number between 0 to 255. So just remember, we have 16 digits and we are aiming to get any number between 0 to 255. So we can see here that we have 0 to 9. So A will be related to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this means that 0 is included in the number of characters that we used for the hex code. The formula that we will be using to get the 256 numbers will be 16 multiplied by 16, which will equivalent to 256. And as I've said, 0 plus 255 is equivalent to 256 characters. So the reason why we are using F or characters from A, B, C, D, E, F will be so that we don't need to go and encounter, let's say for example, we have here a combination of 10 plus the number 4. So that will not be too efficient as we can define it. And if we have a number 215 and 151, you would see there's too many characters. Unlike if we use A4, then let's say we have 2 and F, and then let's say we have here, we have 15-1, or we have 15 and 1. So if we go try to place that here, we get this color combination, which is A4 to FF1, which is similar to purple color. I actually have a site here from where you can really get the main name of the color. I really like this site because they really provide the color name specifically for certain colors or for a specific hex colors. You just need to place them here and they will be providing you with the color name. So you can just go to htmlcsscolor.com for you to be able to go and identify what is the name of this color combination that we just came up with. I'm hoping you're getting the idea of the formula here or the code here. So we have A, which is equivalent to 10 and 4, and then we have 2 and F, which is equivalent to 15, and 15, the letter F here, and 1 combination. So that will be A4 for the red, 2F for the green, and F1 for the blue. Just remember, A is representing 10 and F will be representing 15. Remember that we are dealing with 16 digits and one of them is 0. So this is why we have 16 digits overall, and even with F being 15. Now that we have this information, let's go and break down hex code into numbers. We know that FF here, FF, FF, and FF is solid white from where each values for red, green, and blue is full and has max on brightness. Then if we go and give a value of 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0 here, that will be equivalent to solid black, which means all values for red, green, and blue are totally 0. So we can get white by maxing out the levels of each of the color values for RGB and creating the brightest colors that we can. In the hexadecimal numbers, F is equal to 15, and if we convert that to FFFFFF code to just numbers, it's basically we know that F is the number 15 6 times in a row. So that will be equivalent to 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, and 15, 15. Just remember that these numbers will be correlating and will be equivalent to 255 by pair of 15. So this will be equivalent to 255, 255, and 255. Just remember that every of the two F's that we have here is one of the colors from red, green, and blue. And the first of the two digits is the bigger number. So let's say we have here 15, 15, right? So we would want to multiply and take that number and multiply it by 16, the bigger number. So F multiplied by 16 will be equivalent to 15 multiplied by 16. So that will be equivalent to 250 or 240. 240. If we go and open our calculator here, let me just open our calculator so at least we'll have a better way to, we don't need to go and calculate it through our heads. So we have 15 multiplied by 16, we have a total of 240. And then we will be getting the smaller number, and essentially we are not going to be doing anything with it. So the other F here will be F multiplied by 1, which will be equivalent to 15 multiplied by 1, which will be equivalent to 15. So if we go and add 240 plus 15, we get a total number of 255. So let's go and try to solve this A4 to FF1. So 10 multiplied by 16 will be equivalent to 160. So if we double check that here, let's double check. 10 multiplied by 16 is equivalent to 160. So what do we need to do with the 4? Of course, 4 multiplied by 1. So we have 4. So if we go and compute that, that would be 164 for the red color. Now, let's go and check the 2 here multiplied by 16 is equivalent to 32. So let's go and double check that. 2 multiplied by 16 is equivalent to 32. Now we have the number or the character f, which is equivalent to 15. So let's go and put that 15 or f multiplied by 1 is equivalent to 15. So 32 plus 15, we will get 47. So that will be the 47 value for the green or for the green color. Now, we have here 15 or the f multiplied by 16, which will be equivalent to 240 as we've computed here, and 1 multiplied by 1, which will be equivalent to 1. So that will be 241. When we add 240 plus 1, that will be 241. So that will be a total of RGB of red, which is a total of 164. We have 47% of green and 241 for the blue. So let's go and replace this here, and let's see what will happen to our color here. And as you can see, the RGB value here is also showing that we are getting the blue violet color as specified in the site that we've opened up here. So if we try to go and search this RGB value in our Google search here, let me just go and open this up here and then go to Google search and then do our search here. You would see that the color picker will be specifying the hex value of A42FF1. So that will be the equivalent number or value for the RGB 16447,241 that we were able to compute here in this formula. I'm hoping that this gave you a much deeper understanding on how hex code works and how they are converted to RGB, and I'm hoping that this will be helping you out to better understand colors in a sense, especially on when you are using hex codes and RGB colors for specifying certain colors in your website.